I already... What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can come. Yes. There is a protagonista and an adversario.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest.
Then what we...
This line of questioning, maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
You're man, Lowman. What of it? Good. I don't care about drugs. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I say? If you don't know...
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Why would I want to do that? Lowman, what in the name of God are you Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad, on the U41A. What? It's diamonds, Lowman, obviously. Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Diamonds are good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to me, or I can just relax and let them...
I think we're done here, no?
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I... If...
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Why would I want to do that? Lowman, what in the name of God are you... Good. I don't care. Yes, go. Enough job.
Kingdom of Conscience. The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Sorry, busy surveying the situation. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, or calling in tactical air support.
Because we don't.
I get it. Hush, hush. All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there. First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of it.
Maybe that would work.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile sea. Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In mound cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort. You know them by the names of their nation states. The
Mahun is a derogative term for first world people of Gotvaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru, and in some municipalities of Oranje, people...
The Mound are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the other large Mondial civilization, the overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them lit as proven by the Mound and the Mesk. Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagites are on the ascent. The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Areopagites are the master race of the Ile.
Wait, didn't Ilmaran desert pygmies invent alcohol and get pillaged just a short while ago?
The Areopagites are sleek, long. The latter is perfect.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B are the Anneo.
The Koikos of Grad, Yuko, Jims.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the koi pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced... The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with Podat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates. Like,
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
they are microscopic. The Seminole, its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Simonese and Areopagite stock, elected by the Revacholians, halfway between Type A and the Racial Cauldron. Too mixed to know right from wrong.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The Revolution came to Ravachol from... The Revolution is fatal familial in son. Enough of type mediocrity. Types CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments. Lesser races like the mosquito. The mosquito is born sterile, like...
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
You are right. You have misunderstood.
The sage will not budge on this.
Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Koiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. This will never happen. The Simonese and the Koiko may have similar but enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves. You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it. We will.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation. But they...
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously, the lieutenant?
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not. Those I receive, you know them by...
Mahun is a derogatory. You're welcome.
The mound,
Colorful
the Vesper, the other large, overproduction, as proven by the mound. No, those were
Jean, baby, you're on fire.
I know, babe. The Areopa, the latter.
nature was not capable.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Basholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease? The unpromising race pupil returns.
It has happened again.
Another fit of criminal rage. Who are you, in your own words? The words to the song have good. Now go before you enter.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Clare is a man also. To serve is noble. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Elysium are no. I have heard about. I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with. And never. There is nothing fun. I cannot possibly imagine.
Please, stop doing this. You are making us look bad.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy grad made. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Oh, not much anymore. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Look, oh, I'm here.
Koiko may be another derogative for a person from
Yep, it's...
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name...
Yeah? Then, I guess they go up.
He means
Yeah, you know. 'Cause that's what they're all called. Hey, if the name and description fit by the... Apples. Oh, not much anymore.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing
Look, oh, I'm...
Koiko may be...
Yep.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland.
Yeah? Then, I guess they...
he means the
Yeah, you know. Grad Nix, Grad Volk. Those... Hey, if the name and... did you miss a part?
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know. An old call box. East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
You're back. Good. Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologise for the surveillance.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official...
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours. Exactly. But what?
Okay. I thank you for sharing that much with me. In any case, you've held up... I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid... Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend...
Since you are sharing, man, this is also...
Then we're on the same page. As grim as... I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contract. They were dispatched after
Every worker...
a member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple.
Who are they?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and...
So, what...
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman. While he was drunk and he was taken out behind the whirling in rags. And nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2... It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribe.
What is the nature?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants. Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours... If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynch.
They would have to.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be...
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant Hornet, the world's...
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is as I said, a bloodbath.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relative. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste.
Meaning they're used to operating.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Sadly, no. Before this happened, if you still have access to the ice...
The International Collaboration Police.
Do you know a lot about...
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I have. And they will. However, these...
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit.
The lieutenant consults his note.
We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the...
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. So that's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say...
What else? Nationality?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent. Or in a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. If you meet Lely, one is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner.
What would you say was his eye color?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else?
He was 40.
What else?
In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it...
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the Lorraine.
That may be so. I still...
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation...
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant.
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
That would afford a good vantage point.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I...
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start. Truthfully...
They don't report their
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider it's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer.
She reaches for about half a...
It was taken with a trigat not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his...
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption.
Where is he now?
I would say he's near the Arcade Islands by now. Ready to exit the... Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, tradition...
What next?
Then he made his way to the Preto Grande, through what I think must be the Stadskan Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder.
The old world passing.
You said you can't read...
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic... His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering that
We will be careful.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Tremble. The time is now. Taola. Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time of... Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos. Okay, yes.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Hell no. I'm just an honest...
It just has to be said. That was not a convincing line.
Fucking loincloth.
Loincloth? Now you see, that's not really what a scab would say, is it?
Fucking wow.
I'm going to interpret that as a yes.
How about you fuck?
Okay, of course.
The man's breathing.
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea. Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Great, hard as a
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in. Yeah. What it means. I can tell you what this one means. Only one. Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the...
Bonito is one of the inhabited islands of the Seminoles archipelago near the pair.
He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kept villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for...
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Our boy. He's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. At dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the bushes. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know. She was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted. Expired in the hands of Sarge Mason. The kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and... God. Mason couldn't let go. Got drowned in a creek a week later.
Something stirs in your... There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless. Odorless. It's...
No. I was in the domain. In Jamrock. Being a bouncer. Fucking mask is getting sweaty.
He's under orders. And orders...
You bet it was. It's just... nature. Go ahead. All right now. Free commerce!
On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Can I help you?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Oh, this...
You're sure taking your time. Wait.
Oh, he was a real pretty...
Time to go to work in the
Easy, boys.
You might want to start asking your questions.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Starting from the right. Boot size, foot sitting on his right. Standard working boot across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. He spent his youth in Villa Labo and then standard working boot. The emblem on his vest says in the far corner. Standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage on his neck. Forget it. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41. With the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boots. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime. Exactly. The missing lady driver who was running the drug trade. Does it mean the Hardy Boys are involved in the drug trade as well? Maybe. But hey, you've stood there for about 4 seconds, not...
The fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? Or what? You want to be the...
Actually, boss, we've been talking.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do.
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks...
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a You're not cops here. Don't go...
Good. We are all watching each other.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong state.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. Thank you. Theoretically.
Titus, I'm amazed. Where is the same professionalism when it comes to...
I don't know, Lizzie. I guess
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime.
My answer is... fuck.
And here we go.
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
Yeah. By friends.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are...
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
So are the local gangs. The fucking barmy.
Yeah. What are they now, huh?
These people are trained military
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. The fuck is that supposed to mean?
We're not bees. We're men.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men? We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. I guess we're gonna...
That was an unsure phrasing.
Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them. What do you mean? Okay. No, they won't. Get out of here.
He really doesn't like you ruffling their feathers like...
All he means is that the situation is...
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that. The pretty boy. You got...
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt? Because we did this. Together. All of us. Goddamn.
No. These 7 honest men.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary. And he stepped...
What kind of...
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced.
A live grenade. Right.
I can't prove it, but I know.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said...
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there?
We couldn't believe it either. But he fucked...
Sire, this is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women. Raped one.
From rape to harassment, he regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all if we don't open the gates.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?
Aren't you fucking listening?
Yeah, me and Eugene got a rap.
There's something... Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation.
No. You're not getting it.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you any...
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school. And this is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus.
We overpowered him. Dragged his unconscious body to the tree. Put a noose around his neck. And hanged him till he was dead.
Then we left him for seagulls.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think?
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening?
This one has a distinct style. He puts so much whiny emotion into everything he said. Titus lets the others clear out the details, so he doesn't get his hands muddy with explaining too much.
Like what?
You don't have to
I know, Lizzie. Relax.
Known him? Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago.
By the Pine's cow, you mean Joyce Messier?
No. I mean the Pine's cow. The stupid ass. Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, are you deaf? There will be no... Do you think you...
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Who do you fucking think does?
The sweaty man turns red.
It's not the fat ass. Titus runs the...
I think you got...
Yes, there are some administrative differences. But on that night, they all acted as one man. Are you do you think...
A trick question. Don't let...
Who do you fucking think does?
Titus, no one was thinking...
that there's any question who's the leader. That's how he would have ended it. Titus won't let him.
No. No. Fuck no! The big dick is right.
Disregard the outburst, officer. None of the boys have any comments on their power relations. That night, they acted as one. That's all.
How many people have you sent to the shit?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man... How many...
Chaise...
Or send them to...
the River Esperance Correctional Facility.
Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh?
So is hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. So I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
Stop shitting your pants. The law.
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
For God's sake, stop shouting! Stop breaking things in... They're not going to give you anything. Can't you see? I can't have a police interrogation in here. People are trying to eat. Wait, what?
Easy, babes. What is this? I can't have a slap.
We are deep in Far's territory.
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
I've got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything.
Even Ahmad? Glenn.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you...
It's you again. What is it? Again.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't.
Why?
This is not what he thinks it is. I'm afraid it's not what you think it is either. Yes, you. Stop talking out loud.
What in the...
But I don't want to give...
The fuck is happening?
Easy, Shanks. I want to see where this is going.
Police job? Be careful, it's loaded.
Good. Now put it in your mouth. I want to point it at them. Everyone knows how to do that. You're a special man. You're...
What are you doing?
Genuine panic flies across...
Fellas, you getting any of this? What in the name of
The fuck it, Sammy?
Nothing. Give me the gun.
Fellas, the cop.
No, that is not what is happening.
He's desperately trying to offer a counter-narrative. There is none.
He's not.
No. He'll do it. 2, 1, no. Give it to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. It's not. There will be no spinning. Do the...
Thank you. Nothing to worry about here, people.
Dark? What the fuck was that, you carny?
I knew he wasn't gonna.
No. I still have my money on him. Sooner or later, he has that look.
Do not think your failed suicide attempt.
Again, it was a dark joke.
Yes. Get the serotonin running. Keeps those...
What in the name of hell was that? A theatrical suicide attempt. We need to talk about it. Yes, I understand you sometimes employ... We can't have RCM officers going around putting guns in their mouths. We can't afford to have that image. Few institutions can. Yes, very...
It's you again. What is it?
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. An intricate web of blue line. The pattern still kind of has gone. For you to discover. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles. Unfortunately, in Martinez, cop is a...
He doesn't know about the crime.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork, and no man can afford to...
The RCM doesn't, unlike man.
I'm glad at least some people keep a level head.
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez makes me feel safer.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in...
Okay, but please, only a few questions.
Yes, the similes are very...
The woman looks aloof. Shelves filled to the brim with...
Of course. Such violence and immorality.
In your hand, you hold Dick. The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man. The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered.
Are you really reading that, detective? Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll...
The point is for the reader to feel like the story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vesper to a small town along the insular. 2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vesper police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that, desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vesper police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove...
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that is... Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover and that he was mixed up with a local... Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician, and outwardly, the old police captain is a... He would certainly have the motive and the means, but a typical privileged twat. The kid doesn't exactly... Torvald, the art collector. That said, Torvald... One evening, Deanna Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. Yes, comfort and pleasure. The warmth of another human's touch. The burning taste of liquor on her full... As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, I love you. Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold. When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing the heat is on. If Dick, can you solve the case before the cops close in? What is it, detective? It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody had... There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective. For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it... You won't find the answers you're looking for here. In other words, is it really so evil, detective? Like what? Do you even have those? Yes. They're out there waiting for... Did you lose them? Or did they? But then, what does this book know? So, who did it, detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve? Have you been paying attention at all? It wasn't... You begin furiously flipping through pages. Even as you know these books follow, you try to grab the pages as they come. Dozens of pages scatter across the floor.
Ah, yes. The problem with mass murder. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your own murder, huh, detective?
Don't forget, in your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen.